A break in the weather was what rescue crews needed to recover the body of a pilot on a small plane. It landed in the Croatan Sound just ahead of the runway at Dare County Regional Airport in Manteo. And that's where we find 10 on your side's Art Kahn right now. Art?
Tom, even though rescue divers were able to recover the remains of the pilot, 49-year-old Greg Carlisle of Raleigh, the aircraft he was flying is still sitting at the bottom of the Croatan Sound. Now, obviously, that aircraft is going to be critical to investigators who are trying to determine what caused that plane to go down into the water yesterday within sight of the runway. Recovering the remains of the pilot took a little more than a day for rescue divers. Recovering the plane may take a little longer.
We don't have the resources or capability here at the county level or at the airport, so it's probably going to be contracted via a salvage company, as I mentioned before.
That operation won't begin for at least another day, leaving investigators without a key piece of evidence in their efforts to determine the cause of the crash. Investigators will ask the state medical examiner to perform an autopsy on the pilot's remains.
A toxicology screening and those types of things to ensure that there was no drug abuse or alcoholism or anything like that.
A relative of the victim says Greg Carlisle was an experienced pilot and the son of an aviator.
I'm not exactly sure how long exactly he's had his license or whatever, but he's an excellent pilot, very capable.
Greenville resident Paul Beeman was the pilot's brother-in-law. He believes the weather was a contributing factor to the fatal crash.
We can only speculate, and in my position, it's not my place to make those assessments. That's solely the responsibility of the FAA and the NTSB.
Now, according to reports from the airport manager yesterday, reported that when that plane was making its final approach to the runway here, there was foggy conditions with limited visibility. And I will tell you, typically, foggy conditions create something that's called a low ceiling, known to aviators as a low ceiling. And what that means is you have to be at a low altitude in order to see the ground. That could have affected his approach. But again, until investigators actually get that aircraft out of the water and examine it and see if there was any mechanical failures, we really don't know the cause of this crash yet. And Tom, it could be some time still before they get that plane out of the water. As you can imagine, that won't be an easy salvage operation.
Okay, Art Kahn reporting live from Manteo.